talking more and more to the customers before we came with the final idea of EVA1 is that it's actually going to fit everywhere. It's going to be the camera probably for a lot of freelancers that want that kind of cinema camera at home as well.
Welcome to Cinema 5D on the Go. Moving conversations about moving images with filmmakers and industry leaders. Brought to you by Fujinon, G Technology, Schneider, and Panasonic, in association with Sony. This is your host, Nino Leitner.
Welcome to this episode of Cinema 5D on the Go. We're still in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California, and we are here with Panasonic. So this is Nela and this is Luc.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Thanks for being here. Obviously, the topic of the day, when you see this, the announcement will already be over, but this is the day of the announcement of the new Panasonic camera,
exactly.
The AU-EVA1, or as I call her, EVA.
Yeah, actually it's AU-EVA1, because we are launching a complete new lineup between GH5 and VariCam LT. So we saw the necessity to bring a new camera because there is still a lot of productions that need something more than GH5, and LT could be maybe a camera A. So we see EVA1 fitting quite a lot of different filmmaking applications, so everything from documentary, commercials, music videos, but also events. And because of its compact form, it's going to be also a perfect camera for any kind of grip or gimbal or different applications where you need a small camera to be attached, to be underwater or in the air.
So how did you come up with the concept of this camera? It is very small. What is the main difference to the VariCam LT, which was your entry level, or still is your entry level VariCam? So where are the differences? Is it using the same sensor, or is it a different one?
No, the sensor is different. So we develop in-house a new sensor. It's going to be Super 35 5.7K. And Luc is going to explain later a bit more about the sensor itself. But what we saw is that still for some shootings, people are in need of something even more compact. So that's why this new cinema compact camera, so that it can be, the hand grip is detachable, so you can have really small camera that you can put in any kind of housing or grips and so on. So this was actually the initial idea, to have a big camera on the set with VariCam LT. But talking more and more to the customers before we came with the final idea of EVA1 is that it's actually going to fit everywhere. It's going to be the camera probably for a lot of freelancers that want that kind of cinema camera at home as well.
So you guys haven't announced yet. I'm already kind of like segueing into the technical bits, so Luc can chime in whenever he wants, but you haven't really announced yet what kind of bitrate and what codec you're using, right?
We are going to say quite a lot during Cinegear. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 10-bit 422. Yeah, so you're seeing that we are trying to go up. Yeah, so it's not really a low entry prosumer camera. It's really the one that can be used also for the broadcasters, and this is where some of our competition is sitting today. So we are very confident that with this camera we can hit quite a lot of their sales once on the market.
And it's nice to see it's a Super 35mm camera, so it's not Micro Four Thirds anymore, which is probably the first sub $10,000 Panasonic camera, professional Panasonic camera with a Super 35mm sensor since forever.
Since forever, yes, that's true. There are some quite nice features in the camera itself. So we mentioned 10-bit 4:2, but there is also our famous dual ISO that you had the opportunity to see in our VariCam lineup. So this is also going to be in EVA1. So we saw that with VariCam, a lot of DOPs were, and also not only DOPs, but the production itself saw a big potential, not only on creative side, but also on the cost reduction side. So using the ISO, you can go down with the cost for lighting, and this is something that, of course, at some stage of quite a big number of productions is really an issue. Yeah? And a lot of DOPs can play with this ISO to get a completely new spectrum of creativity that they need in their job.
So when I mean the VariCam, you guys kind of got into the Super 35mm market a bit late. I think it's fair to say.
Yes, but I mean we were talking about this before, and so we moved a bit later than the competitors, but we had time at the same time to hear exactly what is needed in the market. And once we introduced VariCam, it was actually the perfect mix of what the DOPs are waiting for. And that's why we are, I wouldn't say even catching up, we are already part of this industry.
Yeah, and I mean, like, for the package you offer, it's gonna be a very, very interesting time to compete with what's already in the market, I think.
Exactly.
So, so Luc, tell me a little bit about the technical background of the camera.
Yeah. So, as Nela said, we called it EVA1. It's not a part of the VariCam lineup because we decided that we marketed the VariCam lineup as 3 cameras that has exactly the same technology, same sensor, same color science, etc. This new camera has a different sensor, so we didn't want to call it VariCam, but actually it's very close because it's a Super 35 sensor and it has exactly the same V log curve and the same V gamut, which is bigger than the BT2020. So it should match, let's say, almost perfectly with the VariCam. So now what is new in the sensor? It's a 5.7K sensor, not a 4K sensor like the VariCam. And what is interesting is that we will record only 4K picture, not 6K or 5.7K. Why that? It's because with a 4K sensor, you can, when we talk about resolution, there is a resolution of the picture, like you can record a 4K picture, but there is a resolution you can actually see on the picture, which is the number of TV lines. You know, if you have a measurement tool, you can see that on a camera that records 4K with a 4K sensor, you can actually not have more than 1,800 TV lines. And it's supposed to be, if it's 4K, it's supposed to be more than 2,000. So, if you follow me, the idea of the EVA is to have a more than 4K sensor to have a real 4K picture. And with a 5.7K sensor, you can have a 4K picture which has 2,000 TV lines.
Okay.
So much more resolution than with a single 4K sensor.
Because it's always better to start with more and go down than the other way around, of course.
Because we were used to talk, for example, when we talk about HD, usually we talk about 3 sensors. So it's perfect full HD. But with a single sensor now, if you have a single 4K sensor, you don't have a real 4K picture. But with a single 6K sensor, you have a real 4K picture.
Oh, interesting.
So now people may say, but why don't you record a 6K picture because you have the sensor? And actually there is no point, because if you record a 6K picture, you will have 50% more data to store, but you will not have more resolution in the picture. So it's very efficient to have a 6K sensor and just a 4K recording. So this is one of the most interesting features. Then, as Nela said, we have the dual native ISO. So dual native ISO, everybody knows about this. It is what makes the VariCam unique. It's like having a camera with 2 stocks, 800 ISO, 5000 ISO. This is for the VariCam. And for the EVA, as we have more resolution on the sensor, we will not be able to go as high as the VariCam in terms of ISO sensitivity. So it will be 800 and something between 800 and 5000. It has not been decided yet. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people didn't expect that. I mean, I've heard some feedback and you will not call it VariCam, it's not because it's not dual native ISO, and they will be surprised too. I'm sure you are surprised. You're watching me and you say, wow.